Today we're going to discuss my horror story with trying to pick up the PS5. Did I get the PS5?
Campfacer.
Good morning, campers. Campfacer here. We're drinking some nice hot coffee with the Chucky mug. And it's coming into fall here in Rhode Island, and it seems to be getting a little chilly. The leaves are starting to fall. My favorite time of the year. I love summer, don't get me wrong. I love when spring's coming, summer. But then you get kind of like, all right, I'm over it. Fall's here. My favorite time of the year, Halloween. It gets colder so you can dress warmer. And it makes me sleep better at night too. Halloween is all year round for me and for a lot of people, my fans and stuff, but for the most part, it's exciting because the people that aren't horror movie fans are now into it, so it's like everywhere. So anyways, let's dive into my horror story of trying to pick up the PlayStation 5 on release date. You guys all know Sony was supposed to have a date and a time and let people know, but what they did was they just, after the event happened, the PlayStation 5 event where they had the release date and the price reveal, what they did was as soon as that was over, they released it. They didn't tell anybody, they just did it, so all the box stores and everywhere else online was just like, oh, pre-orders are up. Some people knew, some people didn't, and the reason why they did that was, a lot of you guys already know this, is because the scalpers out there weren't ready for it. They weren't ready for it with their bots, their programs weren't set, they weren't ready. A few of them might have got it, but a lot of them didn't. And if they had a release date, then they would have been ready, and more than half of you wouldn't even have a PS5 right now because of the scalpers on eBay.
May they burn in hell.
That being said, I did not get one that night. I missed out, and the next morning, I lost a lot of sleep, by the way, because I was like shaking, like, oh my God. I want to get this on release day. On November 12th, I want to have a PS5 in my hand. I want to be one of the first ones to experience the hardware. I know there's not a lot of games out on it right now. A lot of people are saying, Camp, why do you want to get one on release day? Don't you want to see what happens, see if it breaks and if they have to fix something with it? Or don't you want the price to come down? I'm the type of person that wants to try out new hardware as it drops. I'm a content creator. I want to look at it, see it, touch it, feel it, experience it, experiment with it, and see I want to see the potential that this thing has to offer. I want to be the first one of the first ones there. Anyways, the next morning, let me drink my coffee. So anyways, the next morning, I believe it was a Saturday morning, I waited for GameStop to open up. I was online, hitting the keyboard, and everywhere I went was sold out, and I was getting really frustrated. I'm like, there's gotta be a way to pick up a pre-order. So I called up GameStop because we were heading into town anyways. We're heading that way, and my local GameStop is right down the road from where we were going. I think we were going to like Stop and Shop or Walmart or something like that. And I called up GameStop and I said, I already knew what they were gonna say, but I was playing like I didn't know. I was acting like I was being kind of like naive, because I was so angry. So we're on our way into town, and I make a call to GameStop before we get there. I was gonna go there anyways, but I called and I said, hey, I'm excited about the new PlayStation 5. I'm here to pre-order, and I already knew what they were gonna say. And they were like, no, we sold out last night. And I was like, well, do you plan on getting any more pre-orders in the near future? And he said, well, it's funny because we were just on the phone with somebody, and we found out that Sony is in a meeting and they're discussing a better way to get more pre-orders out to people, and they're gonna let GameStops know when they're getting more it should be in a few hours. They were supposed to get more pre-orders. That's what the kid said. He said that Sony was in a meeting. They were going to release more pre-orders to GameStop. So what you should do is keep calling back. And I said, well, if I call back and there's a pre-order available, can can I just order over the phone? And he said, no, you can't use a card. What you have to do is you have to purchase a GameStop card. They don't take credit cards over the phone. So I said, okay. And he's like, well, I'll tell you what, this is what he told me. He goes, if you come down now and purchase GameStop, first off, I said, how much do you require down? And he said, oh, it's only $50. He said, you're gonna come down and purchase a GameStop card. If it's $50, that's all we require down is $50 for a pre-order. And I said, oh, well, what happens if I get the card and I don't get my PlayStation 5? What if I call too late? Or what if I don't call in the timing that you get, like, say, 10 more and they sell out again? He said, I'll tell you what, if you come down and buy or purchase a $50 PlayStation, a $50 GameStop card, I'll put you on a list. You'll be in line. And I'm like, oh, so I can be in a waiting list? And he's like, yeah, I have a few people right now. They left their card. They dropped their card. They purchased a card. They dropped it off with me. And so when more pre-orders come, they're going to be the ones I call first. So at that point, I was like, oh, this is good news. I'll be right down because I know what they need to make a sale to get commission, and a lot of them are at risk right now in GameStop of losing their jobs. A lot of GameStops are actually closing. There's a lot of drama going on with employees. GameStop's in a real bad place at this point in time. It's all over the internet. I've seen it. They do anything in their power to try to get people to purchase things or become a member of the GameStop club or whatever the hell it's called. I try to stay away from GameStop, but at this point, I'm willing to take this chance because he sounded so convincing. So I went down there. I went in and I said, hey, I'm the one that just called about 5 minutes ago about the purchasing a GameStop card for the PlayStation 5. So he's like, oh, yeah. So I picked up the card. I bought the card for $50, right? And then I said, what do I do? You said just drop it off to you, like give it to you, and I'm in a waiting list, so I could be like, say whatever, 4th in line, 5th, whatever it is. And then he says, well, what you should do is just take it home with you and just keep calling back. And after I already bought the card, and then I said, oh, because on the phone you said it was a waiting list. He's like, he opens up a folder and he takes out 3 sheets with about 60 people with their phone number. And he's like, these people right here are all on a waiting list, and I gotta call them all back when the PS5 pre-orders come in. And then I look at him and I'm like, well, did they buy a card? And he's like, oh no, he went over and he found a pile of cards that were like a stack of like 20 or something like that. And he's like, these people left their card with me. And then I said, well, what happens if you get more pre-orders and you have that stack of cards in that list? Like, who comes first? Like, I don't understand this situation that you just explained to me over the phone. You made it sound like I was gonna go in, get a card, and you were gonna call me back. I was gonna be on a waiting list of like 10 people. He made it sound so easy and convincing. Then he changes his story. And then he says, no, we don't have a waiting list. That's what he said. And I'm like, well, what's the numbers for? And he's like, oh, they're just, they left a number and they're taking that chance. So if I don't sell any, then I can call them back and say, hey, no one's buying these pre-orders. You were on this list. He just started coming out with these stories. So basically what he did was he knew he could get me to buy a $50 $50 GameStop card. And he knew I was gonna buy it. And I did. I fell for the trick, and he made a sale. And that wasn't me purchasing the PlayStation 5. That was just me getting a GameStop card. But he used the PS5 as a tactic for me to buy this card. And to me, that pisses me right the f*** off.
May they burn in hell.
Burn in hell.
They deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell.
That is some bullshit. And now, every time I call every day, they sound a little annoyed, like, I call and they're like, GameStop, and I'm like, yeah, hi, I was calling to see if you have any more pre-orders for the PlayStation 5, and they're like, no, we don't, like that, with an attitude. You know what? Go f fuck yourself. They conned me into buying this thing, and now they're aggravated that they're answering the phone, because I know a lot of people will probably call every day about the same thing. It's their job. Answer the phone. Be nice to the customers. Treat them with some respect. Even if you're aggravated, just let them know some information about it. It pisses me right the fuck off. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep calling these guys. I'm gonna even, the day before I called, they said, no, not today. 5 minutes later, I walk in the store and I was like, hey, there's signs on the door before you walk in saying no PS5 available, sorry. I walk in the door, I ignore the sign, and I'm like, yeah, hi, I'm here to see if you have any PlayStation 5 pre-orders. I just called 5 minutes ago. And the kid and the girl looks at me, and I'm like, and they're like, no, not yet. We haven't heard anything. You might want to check back in a few days. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll call tomorrow and I'll probably pop in again. You guys, what Sony did was a smart thing. It sucked because I missed out. I'm not really mad that I missed out, really. I'm not like being salty about it, about that situation. What I'm being salty about is the fact that I got played as a fool and I fell for it for GameStop, and I bet a lot of those employees sold the console, the pre-orders, to their best friends or family members, and there's no way of telling that, but I bet that's what happened to a lot of GameStops. I cannot stand GameStop. I cannot wait to get rid of this card. I'm hoping though that I can get my hands on a PS5 using this card. And if I can't, I'm gonna have to just buy something with it in the store. Maybe I'll buy a PS5 extra controller with it. But that's the last time I'll ever shop at GameStop, because it's a mess. It's a nightmare, and I prefer going to Walmart over GameStop. At least their games are cheaper over there. And if I don't do that, I just go online and order. With that being said, that's the end of my story. If you guys have any situations similar to that with GameStop, please leave a comment down below. Please give this video a big thumbs up down right over here. Or give it a thumbs down, but I prefer a thumbs up, and it helps YouTube recommend this video to others out there. I appreciate it. If you have not subscribed, please consider. I have a lot of horror movie related and gaming content on this channel, and I like to discuss situations and have fun with the community over here, and I love doing this, and I just salute my coffee to you guys. At the end of the day, you guys, it's rough times out there, and I just want to let everybody know, remind everybody out there, please take a deep breath. Things are rough if you lost your job and you're going through a lot of this crap out there with rioting, and you lost businesses, or you're just having a hard time in life in general. Just wake up every day and accomplish something, even if it's just making your bed. It makes yourself feel better about yourself, and as long as you keep busy and you keep pushing forward, just keep doing something. It makes you feel better in life. I just want to remind you guys that you watching are amazing. Don't forget that, because life is too short, and I know I'm sitting here preaching. I can relate with all this. That's why I'm telling you guys this. I tell myself every day that you are amazing, to myself in the mirror. I have this, I got this. You gotta keep pushing, and I gotta keep reminding myself, and I wanna remind you guys, if you're struggling out there, that is what life is all about. You gotta keep pushing forward. You're gonna take the hit, keep pushing forward. It's a Rocky quote. Anyways, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you campers later in the next video. And as always, remember, campers, stay out of the woods.
I always said we could work out whatever the trouble might be, and though I still want to leave, it's getting harder for me. Or maybe it's something that happened, or something you gotta go through. Losing our way in the silence was the last thing I